I need to be honest with you right now. I used to think American roads had the best cars on the planet. We have Tesla, we have the Escalade, we have muscle cars that shake the ground. But then I started looking at what just happened in Canada, and I realized we might actually be getting left behind. In January of this year, Canada struck a real deal with China, tearing down the 100% tariff wall that had been keeping Chinese electric vehicles out of the country since October of 2024, and replacing it with a small 6.1% tariff on a set quota of vehicles every year. That door just opened, and on the other side of it is a lineup of Chinese luxury EVs that make a lot of what we drive here in America look like it rolled out of a museum. Today, I'm walking you through 10 Chinese luxury electric vehicles that Canadian buyers are about to get access to, while American buyers are stuck locked outside the fence. By the time we reach number 1, you're going to understand exactly why this decision could reshape the entire North American car market, whether the United States likes it or not. Number 10, the Neo Firefly. Get this car starts at roughly $17,000. $17,000 for a brand new electric hatchback. In the United States, that kind of money barely gets you a used compact car with over 100,000 miles already on the odometer. And here, it buys you a small luxury EV built specifically for city driving. Neo built the Firefly to compete with cars like the Mini Cooper, and it genuinely feels like it belongs in that class rather than in the usual cheap Econobox category. The face of the car has these round, expressive headlights that almost look like eyes, giving it a friendly, approachable personality instead of the aggressive robot face so many EVs are chasing right now. It rides on a compact frame with the wheels pushed out toward the corners, which gives it a surprisingly sporty stance for something this small. Under the hood, if you can call it that on an EV, sits a battery pack of just over 40 kilowatt hours, giving it a range of around 260 miles on the more realistic international testing cycle. And here is the part that should make American drivers jealous. Neo is rolling out battery swap stations that can trade your empty battery for a fully charged one in a few minutes flat. No standing around waiting at a charger while your coffee goes cold. Inside, you get 2 clean digital screens and materials that feel far nicer than what you find in most economy cars sold in North America. It is minimalist without feeling cheap, and it is aimed directly at young professionals who want style without a 5-figure price tag attached to every option. Would you trade in your aging sedan for a brand new Firefly at less than the price of a used car? Let me know down in the comments, but stick around, because car number 9 has 4 motors and enough raw power to make a supercar nervous. Number 9, the BYD Yangwang U7. This is not just a car. This is closer to a land rocket wearing a business suit. It packs close to 1,300 horsepower. And no, that is not a typo. 1,300 horsepower in a luxury sedan that starts at around $86,000 in China, a price that undercuts most of its German and American rivals by a wide margin. The Yangwang U7 is built by BYD's ultra-luxury sub-brand, and it was designed as a direct shot at cars like the Tesla Model S Plaid and the Porsche Taycan, though honestly, it makes both of them look a little conservative by comparison. The front end uses sharp, aggressive LED lighting shaped to cut through the air as efficiently as possible, giving the U7 one of the lowest drag figures of any production sedan on Earth right now. The side profile is pure speed, with frameless doors and massive brakes tucked behind sleek wheels. It can hit 60 miles an hour in under 3 seconds, and its top speed is fast enough to get you in serious trouble almost anywhere in North America. Because it uses 4 separate motors, one for each wheel, it can perform a full tank turn, spinning in place on the spot like something out of a military vehicle demonstration. Picture pulling up to a hotel valet and just rotating the entire car 360 degrees before parking. It also uses an advanced suspension system that reads the road ahead and adjusts itself before you even feel the bump coming. And it can lift a single wheel off the ground and keep driving on the other 3 if you get a flat tire, which is the kind of engineering trick that simply does not show up on ordinary family sedans. Inside, it is wrapped in Nappa leather with a dashboard built around 3 separate screens stretching across the cabin, giving it a cockpit feel closer to a spaceship than a sedan. It is roomy enough that rear passengers get real legroom, closer to what you would expect from a long wheelbase luxury flagship rather than a sporty performance car. At roughly $86,000, it is offering supercar level power for a fraction of what an actual supercar would cost you, which raises an obvious question. Is this the real Tesla Model S Plaid killer? Yes or no? But before you answer that, car number 8 has a feature in the back seat you have probably never seen in any car before, and it involves keeping your ice cream frozen on a road trip. Number 8, the Zeekr X. It shares its underlying platform with the Volvo X30, but it feels sharper, quicker, and noticeably more playful to look at. The Zeekr X is built for buyers who think the Tesla Model Y has become boring. Look at the daytime running lights up front, made from dozens of tiny individual LED segments arranged in a sharp, angular pattern that gives the whole face a futuristic edge. The body has this folded paper aesthetic, catching light in a way that makes it look more expensive than its actual price tag suggests. One of the sharpest details is on the sides, where there are no visible door handles at all. You simply press a button on the pillar and the door pops open electrically, a small touch that makes the whole car feel closer to a concept vehicle than something you can actually buy today. Around the back, a glowing light bar wraps the entire width of the car, rather than sitting as a separate badge, and at night it genuinely looks stunning parked outside a restaurant. Underneath the sharp styling sits a dual motor setup pushing out over 400 horsepower, enough to hit 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds, which is quick enough to embarrass plenty of much more expensive performance crossovers. Because it shares its safety architecture with Volvo, it also carries a genuinely excellent crash safety reputation, essentially a Volvo wearing a much louder outfit. Inside is where things get genuinely fun, with a sliding center screen that can move from the driver's side over toward the passenger, letting whoever is riding shotgun watch a movie without straining their neck. Add in a premium sound system, reclining seats, and a small chilled storage compartment built into the center console for keeping drinks and snacks cold on a long drive. And you have a small crossover that feels far more special than its price suggests. In China, this starts around $27,000, and even landing in Canada closer to double that because of shipping, taxes, and import costs, it would still likely undercut most German competitors by a wide margin. Why are shoppers here paying $60,000 for crossovers with plain cloth seats and none of this personality? Be honest, how badly do you want a sliding movie screen built into your dashboard? Stick around though, because car number 7 takes a design risk that might genuinely surprise you. Number 7, the Avatr 12. This is a sleek 4-door coupe developed with backing from Huawei and KATL, and it looks like something pulled straight out of a science fiction film rather than a typical family sedan. The front end uses thin, curved LED strips that wrap smoothly around the bumper, and the hood carries a digital light panel capable of displaying simple messages and animations as you approach the car, a small but genuinely futuristic touch. The side mirrors are replaced with slim digital camera units, which reduces drag and helps eliminate blind spots that plague traditional mirrors. The whole car sits low and wide, with a smooth, uninterrupted roofline and an active rear spoiler that rises automatically at higher speeds. Under that dramatic shell sits a genuinely powerful dual motor setup, pushing out close to 600 horsepower, enough for a sub 4-second sprint to 60 miles an hour, backed by an 800-volt electrical architecture that allows for extremely rapid charging, adding a meaningful chunk of range in around 10 minutes at the right charging station. It also runs Huawei's advanced driver assistance system, built around multiple LiDAR sensors, which allows it to handle complex, chaotic city driving with a level of confidence that most driver assistance systems in North America still cannot match. Inside, the dashboard is dominated by one continuous digital display stretching nearly the full width of the cabin, wrapped in genuine leather, real wood trim, and a suede-style headliner that feels closer to a boutique hotel suite than an ordinary car interior. In China, pricing starts around $40,000, which, for the level of styling, technology, and performance on offer, feels closer to what you would expect from a car costing well over double that. Would you take a chance on a design this bold, or does it feel like too much of a leap for you personally? Car number 6 is enormous, built to compete directly with the biggest luxury SUVs on the planet, and its cabin includes a feature borrowed straight from ultra-luxury flagship sedans. Number 6, the Ato M9. This is one of the largest and most technologically loaded SUVs coming out of China right now, built through a partnership between Huawei and the automaker Seres, and it was designed specifically to go after buyers who might otherwise be shopping for a Range Rover or a Mercedes GLS. It has a commanding front end with a wide grille and sharp LED lighting that gives it real road presence, the kind of vehicle that makes other drivers instinctively give it space at an intersection. Stretching well over 5 meters long, it offers genuine 3-row seating with limousine-level legroom in the back, something most electric SUVs at this price point still struggle to deliver comfortably. It rides on an advanced air suspension system that continuously scans the road ahead and adjusts itself before you ever feel a pothole. Inside, the top trims offer a starry sky-style headliner made from tiny embedded lights, similar to what you would find inside a Rolls-Royce, along with heated, cooled, and massaging captain's chairs in the second row that rival business-class airline seating. Huawei's advanced driving system is standard across the lineup, giving it some of the most capable hands-on assisted highway driving available anywhere in the world right now. Pricing in China generally starts somewhere in the $60,000 to $70,000 range depending on a configuration, which for a 3-row luxury SUV with this level of technology and comfort is a genuinely aggressive price against anything comparable coming out of Germany or the United States. It is not trying to be sporty. It is trying to make an entrance every single time it pulls into a driveway. But car number 5 is the one that actually makes the most sense for a normal family, and it comes with a small robot on the dashboard that talks back to you. Number 5, the NIO ES6. This is one of the best-selling luxury electric SUVs in China, and once you understand why, it makes perfect sense. It hits a genuine sweet spot of size, technology, and price that a lot of rivals miss entirely. If the Tesla Model Y is the safe, familiar choice in this segment, the ES6 is the more premium alternative that quietly does several things better. The front end is smooth and aerodynamic, with a distinctive daytime running light signature and a small sensor pod mounted neatly above the windshield that looks purposeful rather than awkward. The sides stay clean thanks to flush door handles, and the rear features an illuminated light bar that spans the entire width of the vehicle, giving it a confident but understated presence rather than shouting for attention. It goes from 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds with standard all-wheel drive, and just like the Firefly, it supports NIO's battery swap network, letting owners trade an empty battery for a full one in only a few minutes at a swap station, rather than waiting through a long charging session. That also means you never really have to worry about long-term battery degradation, since you are regularly swapping into a freshly maintained pack. Inside is where this SUV really shines, with a small animated robot assistant mounted on the dashboard that turns to face you when you speak, reacts with simple expressions, and can control everything from the windows to the climate system through natural conversation. The front passenger seat includes a special reclining mode with an extendable footrest, designed specifically so a passenger can rest comfortably on longer road trips, something closer to a business class airline seat than a typical car seat. Pricing lands around $50,000, putting it in direct competition with the Model Y while offering noticeably more luxury touches for similar money. Would you pick this over a Tesla Model Y, or does brand loyalty keep you on the American side of that decision? Car number 4 has a windshield so massive it essentially becomes the roof of the car. Number 4, the XPeng G6. This is the more affordable option on this list, and it genuinely feels like driving a small spaceship despite its modest price tag. The signature feature here is the windshield, which does not stop at the usual point above your head. It keeps stretching backward in a continuous panoramic sheet of glass, similar to what you would find in a helicopter cockpit, rather than a conventional crossover. The visibility from inside is remarkable, with sky, buildings, and trees all visible overhead, without a solid roof rail cutting across your view, making every single drive feel slightly more cinematic than it has any right to be. The front end uses a continuous light strip designed specifically to reduce drag, and the sides feature flush handles paired with efficient wheel designs that helps stretch the range as far as possible. It is not the quickest vehicle on this list, needing around 8 seconds to reach 60 miles an hour, but that is more than enough performance for city and highway driving, and its range comfortably clears well over 250 miles on a full charge. Where the G6 really earns its reputation is in its driver assistance technology, particularly its automated parking system, which can slot the car into impressively tight spaces with only a few inches to spare, while you watch the whole process happen remotely through your phone. Inside, a large vertical touchscreen dominates the dashboard, similar in size to what you would find in a Tesla, but running a noticeably more colorful and customizable interface layered on top. The materials are durable and easy to wipe clean, making it a genuinely practical choice for a young family. And that glass roof turns a rainy afternoon into something that almost feels peaceful rather than gloomy. Pricing in China starts around $23,000, an astonishing figure for a car with this much glass, this much tech, and this much interior space. Why are buyers elsewhere paying close to double that for crossovers offering roughly half the feature list? It genuinely feels like something has gone wrong somewhere along the way. Car number 3 is the true technology flagship of this entire list, and it includes a party trick involving snow that has to be seen to be believed. Number 3, the NIO ET9. This is currently the technology flagship of the entire Chinese electric vehicle industry. A large, expensive, and genuinely feature-packed executive sedan built to compete directly with cars like the Mercedes S-Class and the Porsche Panamera. The styling blends elements of a crossover and a traditional sedan, sitting on massive wheels with a road presence that instantly signals this is not an ordinary commuter car. The rear features an active spoiler that rises and adjusts itself automatically at higher speeds, functioning almost like the wing on a small aircraft. It runs on a 900-volt electrical architecture, which allows for extraordinarily fast charging speeds, adding well over 200 kilometers of range in roughly 5 minutes at a compatible ultra-fast charger, a figure that genuinely rivals the time it takes to fill up a traditional gas tank. But the real showpiece here is the suspension system, which uses fully active hydraulic technology capable of independently adjusting each wheel in real time. NIO has demonstrated the car driving over speed bumps with a stack of full champagne glasses balanced on the hood, and the glasses simply do not spill, thanks to how precisely the suspension compensates for the bump before it ever reaches the cabin. In winter conditions, the suspension can also rapidly vibrate itself to shake accumulated snow off the body before you even get inside, turning a genuinely annoying morning chore into something closer to a party trick. Inside, it is set up as a 4-seat executive cabin complete with fold-out tables, a small refrigerated compartment, and screens built into the back of both front seats. The rear seats recline generously and passengers control the blinds, the media, and the climate through a dedicated tablet mounted between the seats. It is genuinely designed with a chauffeur-driven experience in mind, though with well over 700 horsepower on tap, plenty of owners will still want to drive it themselves. Pricing lands around $112,000, putting it in direct competition with the Porsche Panamera, and on pure technology alone, it genuinely challenges what the German brands have been offering for decades. If you want to feel like royalty on your daily commute, car number 2 might be an even more direct route there. Number 2, the Hongqi EHS9. People frequently call this the Chinese answer to Rolls-Royce, and once you actually look at it, it becomes pretty obvious why. This thing is enormous, with a wide chrome grille design that projects serious authority the moment it rolls into view, and a red flag emblem on the hood that lights up, referencing Hongqi's long history as China's traditional state car brand. Stretching well past 5 meters in length, when this car pulls up next to you at a red light, people genuinely stop and stare, often assuming it costs several times more than it actually does. The rear uses a light bar design inspired by traditional Chinese lantern shapes, giving it a genuinely distinctive silhouette after dark. It offers over 500 horsepower and can reach 60 miles an hour in under 5 seconds, which is genuinely quick for a vehicle of this size and weight, though ultimately this car is not really about outright performance figures. It is about making an entrance and commanding a room before you have even stepped out of the car. Inside, a wide display stretches across the dashboard, paired with genuine wood trim, quality leather, and crystal-style detailing on several of the control surfaces. The second row features individual captain's chairs with heating, cooling, and massage functions that genuinely rival what you would find in a private jet cabin. It even includes a specific comfort mode for flat tires, adjusting the air suspension so passengers barely notice anything has gone wrong while the car limps carefully to a repair shop. Pricing in Canada is expected to land somewhere close to 100,000 Canadian dollars, working out to roughly 75,000 American dollars. For comparison, a genuine Rolls-Royce Cullinan starts well beyond $400,000. This is delivering a meaningful share of that experience for a fraction of the price. Would you drive something like this and let yourself feel like royalty for the length of your commute? But now we have finally arrived at car number 1, the single most extreme vehicle on this entire list, combining supercar level power with the comfort of a private jet cabin. Number 1, the Zeekr 9X. This is the true flagship, the vehicle that makes every other SUV on this list look almost restrained by comparison. Forget everything you think you know about family SUVs, because the 9X is closer to a direct declaration of war against the Range Rover and the Mercedes GLS than it is a simple grocery getter. It is the largest, most powerful, and most luxurious SUV Zeekr has ever attempted to build, with a boxy monolithic shape that looks like it was carved from a single solid block of metal. The front uses a massive digital light display capable of communicating simple messages to pedestrians and other drivers, while the stance sits on enormous forged wheels paired with serious high-performance brakes that would look right at home on a dedicated track car. Underneath that imposing shell sits a quad-motor setup borrowed from some of Zeekr's most extreme performance platforms, delivering well over 1,300 horsepower in a vehicle this size, along with the same tank turn party trick found on the Yangwang U7, letting it rotate in place on the spot in a way no traditional SUV from any Western brand can currently match. Inside, rather than cramming in a third row for school runs, the top configuration is expected to focus on a 4-seat executive layout, with individual reclining rear seats built from pressure-sensitive foam that gradually molds itself to your body over a longer drive. A large drop-down screen built into the ceiling functions as a private cinema for rear passengers, while the center console stretches the full length of the cabin, complete with a small chilled storage compartment and crystal-style control detailing. Privacy glass can switch from clear to fully opaque at the press of a button, giving rear passengers complete visual privacy whenever they want it. Despite its size and weight, it is expected to sprint from 0 to 60 in well under 3 seconds, all while its climate and massage systems keep working in the background. It runs on the same 900-volt architecture found in NIO's flagship sedan, meaning charging times are dramatically shorter than what most large SUVs currently offer anywhere in the world. Pricing in China is expected to land somewhere around $100,000 for the flagship configuration. If a vehicle like this ever landed in the United States at that kind of price, it would put genuine pressure on both the Cadillac Escalade and the Mercedes G-Wagon, and that is likely exactly why American regulators have been so reluctant to let vehicles like it anywhere near our roads. So that was the full lineup. 10 Chinese luxury electric vehicles that just became a real option for Canadian buyers, while American drivers remained stuck on the outside looking in. Which one would you actually park in your driveway if you had the choice? Drop your pick in the comments. I want to know if you are Team Zeekr 9X or if $17,000 for the little Firefly is honestly all the car you would ever really need. If anything on this list genuinely surprised you, tap that like button, subscribe so you do not miss the next deep dive. And I will see you in the next one, because this is only the beginning of what is heading across that northern border.